I'm 10 years old and in 5th grade. I gained leadership qualities and friendships from elementary school, and I wish I could have been challenged.
Okay, hi, my name is Nancy Joe. I'm a sophomore.
So Nancy, what do you think is like the biggest issue facing urban schooling today, or education in general?
I think just like access to education resources and like affordability.
Hi, I'm Hannah and I'm a junior here.
Hi, my name is Emily Zepeda. I'm a sophomore.
I'm Erin. I'm a junior at Oxy.
I'm Jenna. I'm a first year.
I'm Colin Nascimento. I'm a sophomore here at Occidental College.
Yeah, and I'm a junior at Oxy.
Jonathan Novick. I'm a junior at Oxford.
Like in urban schooling, like kids are not being supported as much as they should, especially when they're at disproportionate levels of socioeconomic opportunity, and especially when it's been proven time and time and again that they don't have the same resources that those in more affluent areas do.
So facing education right now is where funding is going. Not that I think that there's a lack of funding in certain areas, but that's also because there's excess funding in certain neighborhoods because public education is funded by government, but it's also funded a lot of times by donors, and those donors are in certain neighborhoods, which makes certain public schools better than others.
I think it would be probably the charter schooling and how it's pulling funds away from these public institutions. I know we talked a lot about it in Education 101, which I'm currently in, and how kind of charters were created to help kind of kids with special needs, but it's turned into taking the kids with the highest test scores away from the schools, which results in a decrease in their funding.
We have a system now where local school districts that have very high property values are able to fund everything for their students, and school districts that don't have those things, there's no money for teachers, resources, supplies, new roofs, anything that students need.
Hi, I'm Rachel Eaton. I'm a sophomore here at Oxy.
One thing is that we're expecting that all children and all young adults are going to learn in exactly the same way, and I think we need more programs to help people who don't learn in exactly the same way or might not learn in the same pace. And I think that we're valuing people who learn in a very specific way and raising those people up, which is great, but we're also like really hurting the self-esteem of students who don't learn in a particular. Were there any obstacles within your own educational background that you think were significant and you would like to expand upon?
Well, I more come from a pretty well-to-do background. I went to schools that were very well considered, and even then, I mean, I myself come from a place of privilege, but I had a lot of difficulty, especially because I have autism spectrum disorder, and neurodivergency isn't very accepted within a classroom setting. I was kind of seen as disruptive and whatnot, and over-passionate about subjects, which seems sort of counterintuitive, because they want everyone else to be more passionate than when someone else is passionate.
I had a lot of learning issues. Like in 2nd grade, I still couldn't really read. So my school, it was already like a private education. It was very progressive and kind of geared towards kids who might need more help, but they were talking about like not letting me back next year and needing to go to school for more specialized help. But I didn't really want to do that, so I worked with an educational therapist outside of school because even this private school didn't offer the resources I need, and I was able to work through it over the summer, so like I could stay in the schooling, but kind of not getting access to resources was probably, I'd say, the biggest challenge.
Some people have like opportunity to take outside classes or training classes that may help them in the harder courses, such as English courses and stuff. But that personally was not available to me, and I think that's something that's obviously more catered towards like the wealthy and higher income families. So I think that is definitely a very big issue that I face.
I think think for me, like, definitely, I mean, first of all, I'm very grateful that, you know, I can afford my education and I'm here to attend college because it is a privilege. But I feel like experiencing the education system in China and then also the education system here, I think I struggle a lot with just like testing in general. Like, I'm not saying that I'm bad at it, but like just like a lot of pressure, and sometimes it's not like the best for your mental health.
Hi, I'm Nicole Schwinn. I'm a freshman here at Oxy. Education is still very much like a white majority population per se. Like, it's being combated because, you know, people of color, like, their voices are being included and we have affirmative action. But I feel like a lot of people don't recognize is that people of color, that population is still very much affected both economically and socially. So even if even if they're accepted through affirmative action, it's not like they're given the resources to help them succeed. It's just more sort of like, okay, you've been accepted into this major school, you know, now just like figure it out yourself.
Sure. So NPP is a neighborhood partnership program at Oxy, and it's basically an employer of students, a student employer. So basically they hire like tutors, they hire tour guides, they hire assistants, and we partner with Gear Up Schools, which is like a federal grant program for like schools in need.
What do you think is like the biggest takeaway you got from doing community literacy at Oxy?
Well, for me, I've kind of grown up around privilege. So doing community literacy, I really learned how to talk to, and I learned how people who may not have as much privilege as I did when I was that age, how they can learn and how they live their lives. Like, his mother was going through cancer and he was just in a very hard home situation. And luckily for me, I was not in that situation when I was his age, but I learned how to develop people that age when they're in that situation, and I learned that they really need someone there as a good influence and a good role model when they don't have that at home.
And is there anything else you would like to add about like community literacy in general and your experiences with it?
I think that for me, I kind of said this already, but it's a very eye-opening experience and a very good experience if you're interested in going into that, teaching little kids or just dealing with kids that age in general. So it's very rewarding and I recommend it.
By Grace Gunn, and remember, the hairy beast suck out your head. You and me at this Hamcon, I feel like if you put a house guy on your heart. And here is a story of one of the Haricorn's best work. The Haricorn walked into the bathroom and sucked all the hair out of his head. That is why there are so many bald people in the world today. Including Grace's uncle.
On a more personal like level, how you're perceived by like teachers and whatnot can be affected by that, to the point where you're seen, like, yes, at an institutional level you're kind of seen as like a problem child, but at the same time, like, even those who like are trying to, who say they have your best interest at heart, will perceive you not how you are trying to be perceived.